Making these films is incredibly tough and physical, especially when you're playing a character like Spider-Man.
And in some cases, it was way worse than we could have imagined. Which two Spider-Man actors nearly suffocated in their masks? How about the Peter Parkers that really got battered up by Willem Dafoe? Number 1. Seriously, what's this dude's problem?
When I say there's like blood, sweat and tears, I'm not exaggerating.
It's true. He's totally not. The Green Goblin Spider-Man face-off was a brutal one for both performers.
Willem and I both just collapsed to the floor. And just because we were exhausted.
Oh, and that blood, sweat, and tears Tom was talking about?
I bust my hand up, my knuckles were bloody.
Number 2. Okay, what did he do this time? Injuries endured while facing the Green Goblin aren't anything new to this franchise. During Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man movie, Willem fully clipped Maguire's chin when they were duking it out. It's not a good call to mess with the Green Goblin these days, and it wasn't back then either. Number 3. Usually you're supposed to rest after being injured, but not our Ned.
Your shoulder was like dislocated.
Oh yeah?
But why would that stop him from hanging off of some scaffolding to film an intense stunt like this?
It was pretty crazy.
Crazy is one word for it. But don't let Tom hear you talk about it too much.
You only dislocated one shoulder, so stop complaining about it. Jeez.
Number 4.
It's just I'm getting old, mate, you know?
We're throwing back to late winter 2021. Filming was back up again after being interrupted by the pandemic, but then the production came to a halt once more.
I've hurt my knee, so they've given me a few days off, so I've been sitting in the house for the last 3-4 days, sort of doing nothing.
Honestly, given the intense stunts in these movies, it's a bit surprising this doesn't actually happen more often than it does, but hey, they did pick Tom to be Spider-Man for a reason. Number 5. Wait, isn't a helmet for safety? Yeah, typically it is. Unless you're on the set of Spider-Man, where, off the bat, it just put Tom Holland in danger instead of protecting him.
I ended up cutting my face at one point on it. It just wasn't a very good design.
While the Marvel team doesn't always make the adjustments on the suit Tom requests, yes, we're talking about the toilet zip.
Again, I asked for a zip and I didn't get one.
This particular issue was remedied immediately. After all, we can't let that pretty face get cut up. Number 6. Is that why Tom was gurgling through lines on set? Okay, so Zendaya's worries?
How is he going to get it out? This is a genuine concern.
Very valid. When the teenage Holland was filming this rigorous scene, loads of drops of water were collecting in his mask and got all up in his business, essentially getting him waterboarded. Talk about diving into the deep end. Number 7. Hold up, didn't we just talk about this? Well, sort of. Andrew Garfield had his own waterboarding by Spidey suit mask filming experience, his first Spider-Man movie. Getting that mask wet is no picnic because that kind of restrictive material is seriously not meant for breathing easily in the best of circumstances. Luckily, the fight coordinator expert Andy Armstrong was there to suggest they just scrap the mask. A simple but oh so effective solution. Number 8. Just when they were so close to finishing the movie, Tom Holland had to go and ruin it. The actor was prepping to do some final takes in New York, and everyone was so close they could taste it. That is until Holland headed down the stairs with a suitcase in tow.
I fell and tweaked my ACL a little bit. Sort of down the stairs. I did that.
Seriously, dude? If we're being honest, though, the real highlight is the fact that Hotshot Holland was still looking around his own suitcases. Yeah, that's a pretty Peter Parker thing to do. Number 9. It's okay, we can CG the blood.
But it was luckily just before my last shot.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I basically fell over and bashed my face in front of about 200 crew members, so not my most heroic moment.
That face bash produced a fair amount of blood, but time was of the essence, so the whole crew went on shooting, literally fixing the cosmetic damage in post via the CG. Once they wrapped, of course, Tom's face got the proper medical care as well. A solid first impression, Holland. Number 10. Wait, how can a stone bruise? All jokes aside, Emma Stone did do her fair share of stunts, but none of those did her any harm. It was actually the safety equipment that caused some lasting damage because of how tight all the harnesses had to be. They hoist you and there's a lot of bruising, but it's good bruising. Good bruising, for sure. Well, honestly, it's not too surprising how easily she shrugged it off. She is a tough one.
Ooh, burn!
Number 11. More tissues on set for Andrew? Okay, so nosebleeds kind of inherently come as part of the contract when you're playing Spider-Man with all that swinging around and kissing in the rain. And in his first movie as Spider-Man, you know Garfield was sporting the tissues up his nose look just so the team could get on with filming and not have to CGI blood out afterwards.
And that's ridiculous.
Number 12. Oh, Tobey, why'd you have to lie about it? There was a time when the crew thought Tobey Maguire had suffered a back injury filming the Spider-Man sequel, but in reality, he was just trying to get some cash added to his deal. He, of course, admitted the truth, apologized, and the movie got made, but Sam Raimi wasn't going to let him get away with the stunts so easily.
My back! Oh, my back!
Yeah, the scene kinda lands different knowing the story behind it, doesn't it? We gotta give it to Raimi though. Definitely a solid and hilarious payback. Number 13. Okay, it's bonus time. We know we said we were covering Spider-Man actor injuries, but these other Marvel actor injuries were just too wild not to share. Filming Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in Boston went downhill real fast when the Princess of Wakanda herself, Letitia Wright, was doing a stunt. A stunt rig gone wrong made for a chaotic day and Wright was rushed to the hospital to treat her injuries. Luckily, the actress was on the mend and able to get back to filming soon enough. Number 14. Is it even possible to recover properly while doing so much action? Scarlett Johansson went through a battering performing tons of her stunts for Iron Man 2, and the rough days on set didn't change during Avengers Assemble. It was just all one big injury. You get used to it, I guess. It's a good thing that was her attitude early on, because from the looks of it, she got very used to it. Number 15. Sorry, how does this make sense? Apparently, when you're as tough as RDJ, a broken limb is just another day at work and can actually come in handy.
I broke my ankle once, but then that gave us time to do some more script revisions.
Yeah, super casual broken ankle, no big deal. Well, he is Iron Man for a reason.
It really isn't that big a deal, it happens all the time.
Alright, so the respect level we have for all these Spider-Man actors has shot through the roof. After all these years and so many Spider-Men having trouble nearly waterboarding themselves, we'd think somebody on the team would take some action on it. We're with Zendaya on this one.